Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big, weird, wild world out there, folks. And here we stand, al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, that's the Natch, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Hey guys, sorry if you're listening on... if you're listening to the stream there, you just heard silence, but I'm here. How are we doing, folks? Sorry. Technical difficulties. Come on. How are we doing out there? Hopefully you can hear me fine now. Oh, there we go. Perfect. How are you doing, guys? You're listening to the ProBoh Show. If you're lucky enough to be joining us live, it's currently 8:30 Central European Time. I'm Rob. That's the Natch. And this is the ProBoh Show. What's coming up in today's episode? Oh my God, guys, we're going to have some fun today. Let me tell you. Okay, in the second part of the show, I ask 100 humans about dentistry. It's a topic I hate, Natch. I'm British. I have British teeth. Then we go to complete the news, where hopefully this today we'll get to the what young Americans are using to fight anxiety. We also find out about a UK survey, un'encuesta britannica, or del Reino Unido. Oof, was that at all good? I feel like the pronunciation I sounded like a... Nivelazo. Ah, yeah? Oh my God, I felt like Giri on steroids right there. By the way, if you're an international listener, Giri means like, it's an affectionate way to say foreigner. It actually might be a really rude way to say foreigner, and people have just told me it's affectionate, so I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, a British survey about healthy living. That's kind of an oxymoron, a British survey about healthy living. And all that fun is in the Nivelazo, thank you. All that fun is in the second half of the show, my friends. In the first half, we do have a quite controversial, unpopular opinion today. I'm excited to get to that one. And the results, I think on Instagram, were quite predictable. So today, I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag. I'm just going to tell you what the results of the poll on Instagram was. So the unpopular opinion, Natch, is parents are not to blame. Que no tienen culpabilidad, would you say? They're not to blame?
Que no tienen culpa.
No tienen culpa. No son responsables. Okay. For their naughty children. Ooh. Yeah. I know. We'll get to it, Natch. We'll get to it. Because, obviously, being childless, it makes me the most qualified to talk on this subject. There you go. You may note a little bit of irony there. But before that, guys, I'm here, you're here. Let's get to the show. How are you doing? How are you doing, Natch? It's Thursday.
Fine, thank you. Yeah, we're making it.
We're making it. We're almost there. Tomorrow, we can smell the freedom.
Yes.
I have a meeting today with the boss. So, yeah. So right now, I'm great. But every time I walk out of the... of her office, I walk out depressed and stressed. So let's see. Guys, if you want to join in with the show today, very, very easy. You go to twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can join me just like Min, The Bridge, Nessa Finessa, Pedro from Instagram. Who am I missing? A few people. I know there's a lot of you watching right now, but only a few of you ever type and write to me, so please do that. Let's see what people are saying. Everyone's saying good morning to one another. Good morning, guys. Today I won't be able to participate. Oh, no. That's Pedro from Instagram. What are we going to do without his insights today? I have no idea, but thank you for dropping us a note. He said, well, let's just cover this. He had a thought on today's unpopular opinion. My vote for unpopular opinion is that parents have a lot of responsibility in the misbehavior of their children, according to my experience. Okay, so there you go. Interesting. It's interesting because overwhelmingly people have said that. No, parents are responsible. But then when I said Gen Z are just an amazing generation, Natch, everyone's like, no, they're too hard to control. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy today's unpopular opinion because it does kind of unveil quite a lot of hypocrisy. Anyway, we're going to continue on. Thank you. Yeah, I did fix the audio. We are having audio issues on the stream. To be your Giri, true to your Giri pronunciation, so it was pronounced in a very Giri way, right? Natch, in a very foreigner, British way. Someone told me it's a cute accent in Spanish. Is that true? Does the Geary accent sound cute in Spanish?
Well, it sounds, yeah. Sí.
I mean, to be fair, it was a woman, so it's kind of unfair to ask you. Natch, am I cute? Do I look cute today?
I was thinking on a giddy women.
Yeah, on Geary women. There you go. You know, Natch never tells me I'm attractive anymore. It's breaking my heart. Well said, Pedro, said Nessa Finessa. Okay, well, we will get into this. We'll get into this some more. I do have some cleanup on today's show. So I have a listener, Monica, joining us from Minnesota. Monica from Minnesota, and she said she just found the show, right? According to a message, she just found the show, and she got to the episode where we were talking about how you have to pee. Well, how you know whether the toilet seat should be up and down. And the conclusion of that episode was whoever uses the toilet should leave it as they've used it. That way maximizing the amount of times people have to touch the toilet seat, right? And I don't know what one it was. I think Kyle was there for that episode, and one of us said something about sitting down to pee. So she sent me some information. Guys, if you're in my Patreon, you will get this. I will send you this this chart. Okay, and it highlights how often or what percentage of men in countries actually do sit down to pee. Okay, so obviously some countries higher than others, and it's broken down like this. So they asked each man in the countries, how often do you sit down to pee? Every time, most times, sometimes, rarely, okay, pocas veces, no sé. How do you not know that? I don't know. They just pee their pants. There's a portion of the population who just do it on themselves. Fine. I'm not judging. Or nunca, never. Okay, so there were six kind of, I would say if every time and most of the time are people who always sit down to pee. Right? And in case it's, but you know what I mean, some bathrooms just have urinals, right? So I want to ask you, Natch, which country sits down to pee the most, do you think? Which country's men sit down to pee the most? And this question to you guys too in the chat, please.
It has to be a clean country, you know? The country that is famous for being clean. Okay. I don't know, maybe Japan?
I'm going to tell you, Japan's not on the list. I'll tell you the countries that are on the list, okay? And then you can decide between those. Nessa thinks Spain. Spain is on the list. Spain is on the list. Natch just spat out a little water there. So the countries on the list are Britain, Poland, Mexico, France, the US, Singapore, Australia, Spain, Italy, Sweden, Denmark, Canada, and Germany. Of those countries, which do you think is the top?
Australia or Canada?
I can tell you Australia. Australian people, yeah, quite a lot actually. But in this list, for some reason, of the people that said never, 27% of them never sit down to pee. Do you ever sit down to pee, Natch? There's a question.
Never.
No, me neither.
Well, there's only a combination. There's only one combination.
Exactly. Okay, let's continue. So yeah, 27% of Australian men never sit down to pee. Min says Singapore. 32%. Actually, fewer men sit down to pee in Singapore. This is the weirdest introduction to a program we've ever done, Natch. You're absolutely adorable today, Rob, says Min. Thank you, sweetheart. What about always at home or someone else's home, never in a public place? Hang on, we'll get into it later. Hang on. The thing is, I know many men that do so, says Nessa. Nessa's hooked into the sit down to pee community, it seems. Okay, here we go. The top country who sit down to pee is Germany. 40% of German men sit down to pee every single time. Even if it's a urinal, they'll pull the pants down and just kind of angle. No, I'm joking. I don't know how they do it, but 40%. 22% said most times, 15% said rarely, and 10% only said never. Yeah. It's an education, a sociological, it's a sociological mystery. Sweden. Sweden. Hang on a second, I've got drama in there. Marta, wait until the break and I'll give it to you. Okay, let's continue. Sweden is second with 12% of people saying they never sit down to pee. Spain, just so you know, 28% of Spanish men say they never sit down to pee. 28% of Spanish men. So there you go. And the country that sits down to pee the least, Mexico. So there you go, guys. If you're on my Patreon, you will see this chart, and maybe if I have time, I will share it with you another time. Wow, Rob, this is blowing my mind, says the bridge. Yeah, mind-blowing facts. I come dropping the facts courtesy of our new friend from Minnesota. So here we go. Let's get into some news today, Natch. It's Thursday. The great unretirement wave. Unretirement. Well, retirement is jubilación. I don't know how you say unretirement in Spanish. Desjubilación?
I don't know.
Yeah, because the word shouldn't exist. It's awful.
Keep on working.
Yeah. So this is coming from the Telegraph. The great unretirement wave hits 100,000 people are forced back to work. 100,000 people are forced back to work. Almost 100,000 early retirees in the UK have re-entered the workforce as a result of the cost of living crisis, according to the Office for National Statistics. Unbelievable. Can you imagine that? You get to the retirement age and you have to continue working just because you're so poor. I think that is going to be the reality for our generation, Natch. For Generation X. I don't think we retire, man. We need to find something to pay the bills. Let's see. The fact that you should have statistics on this issue. Yeah, thank our listener from Minnesota who's just found the show. Amazing, so sad. Yeah, it is very, very sad, and it makes me worry about my family because I have family out there, particularly my mum who's approaching retirement age. I hope when she does retire, she can retire for good. The number of people aged under 64 in retirement fell by 93,000 in the year to March, in this year up until March. Sad, man. Sad that you save all your life and you can't even take a break from work. Other news. Let's see. Scientists. This is a good piece of news. We're going to go into science right now. Scientists discover an anxiety gene. So, un gene de ansiedad.
Un gen.
Oh! I nailed the pronunciation of anxiety in Spanish there. Screwed it up with my vocabulary. So scientists discover an anxiety gene in the brain and a natural way to turn it off. Yeah, pretty exciting news. Scientists have discovered an anxiety gene in mice. Before you get too excited. Yeah, how anxious are mice? You know? Anyway, whatever. Have found an anxiety gene in mice that, when suppressed, appears to reduce anxiety-related behavior. I don't know what anxiety... I wish they'd have highlighted what anxious behavior is like in mice. You know, they walk up and down on their mobile phones. They eat too much pizza. I don't know. Let's continue. After introducing stress in mice, the researchers observed an increase in levels of 5 microRNAs, molecules that help control gene expression in the amygdala, a brain region involved in anxiety. So there you go. Maybe there is a natural way for us to control our anxiety as a society. Thank you, science. Another win for science. Sorry, I don't want to trigger all the religious people. I love you guys too. Okay, let's see. Meanwhile, the retirement age in the Netherlands is 67. Isn't it 68 here, Natch, in Spain?
I lost count. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. There's no point following that information for us, Natch, because it will only depress us.
Yeah.
You know?
And it changes every 4 years.
Exactly. Every 4 years it goes up 10. We can retire when we hit Yoda age, like 1,000. You take a week off. Most 64s work here regardless, says Min. Yeah. I mean, that piece of news, I think, is about early retirees having to enter the workforce again. Those lucky enough to make a plan soon enough. What else does it turn off? I don't think it only turns off one thing. That's true, eh? That's true. Imagine you turn off anxiety and you know, and it also modifies some other behavior. And also, anxiety, here's the thing. Oh, you've heard me say this a ton. That we tend to treat our negative emotions as if they're alien from us. You know, as if they work apart from us. Our negative emotions can be used, or should be fully embraced, and either used as signposts of how we can correct our, potential negative, negative aspects in our life. But imagine you turn off anxiety. I mean, surely anxiety is a relic from the past that helps us perceive danger. Is anxiety not in some way useful? And if anxiety is an epidemic right now, let's not screw with our genes. Let's maybe make a society that is not provoking so much anxiety in people. How's about that, scientists? How's about that? You're welcome, by the way. Give you a new source of research. How to make the world suck less. Go. I'll be watching the news to report it. It's crazy to me. Yeah, we've found a gene that's responsible for anxiety. No. The world is responsible for anxiety. Our genes are fine the way they are. Anyway, let's see. And you turn off pleasure? No, of course. True story, says Nessa. Anxiety attacks suck, but surely an amount of anxiety is healthy and helpful. Exactly, Min. Exactly. I just don't think it's... I mean, I agree that there is an anxiety and depression epidemic going on right now. I agree with that. I think that's a true statement. But I don't think the way to solve it is modifying our own genetic makeup. You know, I think the way to solve it is kind of having a better world for us to live in. You know? Anyway, whatever. I do have some more news to go through, but you know what? We've had so much fun. Let's just go straight to an unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Oh, I'm having fun today, guys. Thank you for being here. I've got a lot of people in the chat right now. You guys are killing it. I love the constant commenting. Okay, so here we go. Today's unpopular opinion. Kind of a controversial one. First of all, what is an unpopular opinion? It is a brain fart, un pedo cerebral, pedo mental, una rayada. I share it with you on my social media, namely my Instagram at Professional Bohemian. And you guys vote on it. Today, the unpopular opinion was, parents are not to blame for naughty children. Parents are not to blame for naughty children. 74%, Natch, said false. Parents are to blame for naughty children. You are a parent. Can I have some insight from you, Natch?
Yes, of course. For me, I agree it's false. I agree with the people.
Yeah.
In the majority of the cases. I mean, I know parents that are strict and quite a good person, and the kid is insufrible.
Yeah.
But the majority of the times, I can see strange things in parents of kids that are not bad kids, but naughty kids.
Yeah. And that is obviously some other factor, right, that contributes to the bad feeling.
Yes.
All right, let's go to our elves who have thoughts. Our elves had thoughts today. I will read you their pros and cons. Okay, in the pro column, parents are not to blame for their naughty children. Certain behavioral traits are genetically inherited, such as impulse or difficulty with self-control. For example, research shows that children with ADHD often have a family history of the disorder, suggesting a genetic component to bad behavior. Neurological differences. Some children have neurological differences that can lead to challenging behaviors. For instance, children with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, may exhibit behaviors that others perceive as naughty due to their neurological makeup. Peer influence. Children are influenced by their peers and can pick up negative behaviors from them. A study in child development found that children's peers significantly influence their disruptive behaviors. Environmental factors. Factors beyond the parent's control, such as poverty, violence, or stress, can contribute to a child's behavior. Research in developmental psychology has shown that adverse childhood experiences can lead to disruptive behavior. So those are some points agreeing with the statement that parents are not responsible for their child's disruptive behavior. Let's see what people have thoughts. I like this. Thank you. Let's educate children, this is from Nessa, to be able to face anxiety, not protect them so much they grow with no tools to do so. Wow, interesting point, Nessa. Min, who is if not the parents? Well, I would say genetic makeup and external environmental factors, just as we covered there, such as living in a violent environment. That was my case. Being raised in Bradford, that was going through some serious violent issues at the time, such as poverty, violence, or stress, as the elves said. Coralism. Good morning. In general, I'd say that the parents are to blame. However, we should be careful when criticizing parents. I've known people with autistic children that were strongly criticized for their child's tantrums. Very good coralism. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the con columns. Parents can be a factor in children's naughty behavior, or parents are responsible for their children's naughty behavior. Research has shown that certain parenting styles, such as authoritarian or neglectful parenting, can contribute to negative behaviors in children. A study in developmental psychology found that children with authoritarian parents were more likely to exhibit aggressive behaviors. Children need consistent rules and consequences to learn acceptable behaviors. Inconsistent discipline can lead to confusion and negative behavior, as shown in a study published in the Journal of Clinical Child and Adolescent Psychology. Parents are role models for their children, and children often mimic their parents' behaviors. That's a fair point. And children who do not receive adequate emotional support from their parents may act out as a cry for attention. There you go. Those are your pros and cons, my friends. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Genetics means that it's fully the result of the parents. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, genetics can be inherited, can skip generations. Not necessarily at all. Can be the grandparents' fault if we're gonna call that fault. That was from Min anyway. Genetics means that it's fully the result of the parents. Nessa, at least 90% is a parent's responsibility. Not talking about children with issues, of course. And Min, I don't think anybody will say that it's solely the parents' fault, but they're 100% co-responsible and probably the biggest influential factor. Okay, thank you guys. I did get some other comments on the story I posted, but I'll get to those later on. So this comes to me, this unpopular opinion came to me because very often, and it was a belief I used to share, you see kind of a child acting badly, behaving badly in a supermarket or in some kind of public setting. And you hear this phrase more often than not. That is the parents' fault. The parents are raising this child badly. I mean, number one, you're only seeing a very brief snapshot of that child's behavior. Right, you're only seeing a very limited time of their life and how they're interacting. Okay, and obviously, if they act up in a public setting, you know that's a real problem. But it doesn't mean that that's the way they act all the time. And number two, we don't ever hear people saying, oof, you know, the society we live in has contributed to that poor behavior. I wonder what genetically is happening with that poor child for it to behave in such a way. No, we immediately place the blame on the shoulders of the parents. And I think, friends, that is really unfair. After the break, we're going to get to some science, what science has to really say about this. But before then, I'm going to put it in your hands, guys. Is it the parents' fault that if a child behaves badly? You tell me. I will post a poll in the chat and I'll be back in 4 short minutes. I need to sort out some drama in the control room. My God. Friends, I will be back soon. So many things you could have been doing today. But instead of doing those things, you decided to take the time to spend some time with me. I'll see you soon, guys. Hey, guys. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. How are we doing out there, friends? Woof, you're asking yourselves, what was that drama? Goddamn. You know what, Marta and I, the amazing Marta Tova and I, sometimes we have to put out fires. Thankfully, I was prepared enough for this fire that we had an option B. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise, Natch, can you believe it? Can you believe it? How are you doing, friends? By the way, if you're just tuning in, what did you miss? We got some facts and figures about men sitting down to pee. Why not? Because why not? You know. Then we looked at, what did we look at today? Obviously we looked at the great unretirement. That 100,000 retirees in England have been forced back to work because of the cost of living crisis. Oof, sad stuff. And then we looked at scientists discovering the anxiety gene and a natural way to turn it off. And then we made the argument, you know, should we really be screwing around with our genes before first trying to make society a society as such where it doesn't cause so much depression and anxiety? I don't know. Yeah, no? Anyway. And then we went into our unpopular opinion. I see you guys have been doing amazing work in the chat there. Wow. All right, let's get into it. Let's see. Wow, Robbie's... Oh, no. Let me see what you guys have been saying. A general feeling in the chat was that no, parents are responsible, and I get your opinions there. I will be honest with you, I completely understand. But I feel like as a society we need to be a little more understanding and not immediately throw the blame at parents when it comes to this kind of thing. Because as with everything, there are many shades of grey, right? There are many shades of grey. And immediately just blaming two people who are probably trying their best to raise their child in the best manner possible, you know, isn't constructive. It isn't constructive because behavior is made up from several components, hundreds of genetic markers passed down from parents to child, or from grandparents, or along lineages that can contribute to what we would consider negative behavior, in which the parents or a parenting style hasn't contributed to that behavior in the slightest. But anyway, let's continue. Min says, I don't think anyone will say it's solely the responsibility of parents, but they're 100% co-responsible. I think that's a very good point. Parents are co-responsible. Let's get Min a little ProBoh approved.
ProBoh approved.
Okay, let's see. Little Humans. This is from Maria. How are you doing, Maria? She says, Little Humans development includes tantrums or rebellions. Exactly, it does actually. That is a part of growing up, dealing with that kind of stress and anxiety. Nessa says, I used to teach children and you could almost always see where it came from when you met the parents. Oof. Woof. Urs says that I work as a pediatrician, and in my office there are lots of parents who are so relaxed about their behavior of their children that it blows my mind. Me flipa. Okay. On the other hand, there are other parents that try to control them, but they can't because it isn't their fault. It's 50-50, and the background of the family makes a lot regarding the behavior of the offspring. So Urs there is saying it's probably 50-50. Parents have their responsibility, and external factors and genetic factors have theirs. And I think that's a really healthy way to look at it. I agree with Urs. Misbehavior of some children is not 100% the parents' fault, but we can do a lot in that. Rafelka, yeah, that's an awesome comment, Rafelka. And we'll actually get to a scientific study on that specific point in a second. I am surprised that tampering with genes should be easier than changing society. Exactly, me too, the bridge. With regards to that piece of news about the genetic switch for anxiety. Good morning, beautiful warriors. A bit under the weather today. I think I'm coming down with something. Oh, Vero, no. Let's give some lots of love and energy to Vero in the chat. All right, so let's get to the results of the poll match. Parents are not responsible for misbehaving children. Predictably, 100% of you said false. Okay, so why did I launch such a strongly worded poll? Okay, because I think there needs to be some sort of counterbalance in culture today with regards to parenting. A lot more support and a lot less criticism. Because some kids just have issues, man. Just have issues. Does parenting hold no responsibility? No, of course it doesn't. And that's why I think the result of the poll today was 100% false. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into some, because I did do a little more research on this subject. Let's see. There was a study done by Stanford, research led by Jelena Obradovic. I don't know how it's pronounced. Anyway, she's an associate professor at Stanford Graduate School of Education, and she found that excessive parental involvement, así que demasiado involucración de los padres. So excessive, yeah, Natch, I know. You're right.
Nivelazo.
Quite rightly so. You were just shocked then. It was like, God, is he from Cordoba? Who's gone in the studio right now? Excessive parental involvement can hinder. It can be an obstacle. It can hinder children's behavioral development. Published in the Journal of Family Psychology, the study observed parents' behavior when children were engaged in activities like playing, cleaning, and learning. Children whose parents frequently interrupted them with instructions or suggestions despite them performing tasks correctly displayed more difficulty in controlling their behavior. Because this is an interesting, that was an interesting study for me, because we often attribute bad behavior with a lack of parenting, right? Do you understand that, Natch? Does that make sense? Like we kind of think, oh, those kids have been neglected to run wild. But this study suggests like, no. Even too much attention when a child is just doing what children do can actually lead to behavioral problems. Then I found another one in annualreview.com, which I think paints a very, very balanced picture here. Parents definitely have an impact on their children, just as children's genetic makeup influences their behaviors and how parents treat them. Studies on twins, gemelos, do you say? Gemelos? All right. Oh, I'm killing it today. Thank you, dude. And adopted children help us understand how much genetics affects certain traits, although these estimates can vary a lot and none can be considered the final answer. This study goes on to highlight that, yes, that this is kind of, it's not really one conclusive answer, and for every child it's different how much a parental impact will have, as well as social aspects like peer groups, and genetic aspects. It's all a soup, and the ingredients vary from child to child. And then finally, the psychologicalscience.org, a recent study led by Danielle Dick, unfortunate name, thank you, Danielle. Danielle Dick of Virginia Commonwealth University has found that a gene linked to alcoholism, CHRM2 may have a small influence on disruptive behavior in adolescence, but only if parents are not closely monitoring their activities. So yeah, it's a tapestry, guys. If I could do anything, if this show led to anything, if it's for our listeners to kind of, when they see bad behavior in children in public, just not immediately snap to the judgment that, wow, these parents, their kids are out of control. That's their fault. If we could temper that opinion with, God, isn't parenting hard? How many factors must be involved in that tantrum? How many friends at school? How many genetic markers? How economically successful is the household? As well as how are the parents parenting? I think it's just one piece in a much bigger puzzle. And I would love to see people, society in general, be a lot more forgiving and understanding when it comes to parenting. There you go. Let's see what people are saying here. Of course, not 100%, but we must start taking responsibility for things. Generation Z, not their fault. Parents, not their fault. We must all take responsibility for our actions and stop blaming other circumstances. I feel like this is being done a lot lately, says Nessa Vanessa. Great comment. But surely, if a child is misbehaving, blaming the parents is just another where the child itself is not taking responsibility, right? Especially if they're influenced by peer groups or some kind of recessive or genetic markup. I understand your point. It is a very good one, though. Vero, as I see it, those behaviors are not only parents' fault, but also society's. Great point by Vero. Can we get everyone a global Nivarathon?
ProBoh approved.
Better. ProBoh approved. I love it. I agree. It's a multi-factor issue, says Maria. Guys, so there we go. So yeah, let's be a little bit more understanding with parents with suffering problematic behavior, because it is a tapestry. It is a soup, and every kid is different. But there are so many more factors that come into play than just parenting. You know, and that's a fact. That's a fact, my friends. All right, guys, with that said, let's go to today's 100 Humans. Oh my God, friends, it was a long walk to work today across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans. And I asked them a question. I said, name something a patient, un paciente, might do to make a dentist complain. So, nombra algo que hará un paciente, that a patient would do that would make a dentist or their dentist complain. You know, I need to go to the dentist soon. That's why we did. That's why I asked all these people this question this morning, physically. When you. But then, very small, you need to be monitored. Okay, yeah, we have some. Nessa's joined the fray. So has Min. So has Denmi. How are you doing? The Jeans guy. Welcome to the chat. Coralism. All right, Natch, what do you think? What's something a patient can do that would make a dentist complain?
And not clean your teeth enough times?
Not clean your teeth. Or not brushing, right?
Eso, bro.
Cepillamos las dientes en como angloparlantes. Oh my God. I know, Natch. I know. It's fair. I don't know what I've taken today. So not brushing your teeth. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done, Natch. It is the fourth most popular answer. Not brushing your teeth will make a dentist complain. All right, let's see. Nessa Vanessa says biting the dentist. You know, I will admit, the thought has come across my mind in previous dentist visits. This guy's bought a boat with the amount of money that he's made off of pulling my teeth out. Biting the dentist, is that there? Is that something dentists will complain about? Biting? Yes, it is. Nessa, well done. And Nessa Vanessa, with 26 of 100 humans, it's the number one answer. Nessa killing it. She's killing it. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's scroll up a little bit. Bite them. Not keeping their mouth open. So closing their mouth. So does jeans guy. Denim jeans guy. So denim and Min both say closing the mouth. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Well done, Denim Jeans Guy and Min. With 10 of 100 humans, it's the 7th most popular answer. Things that will make a dentist complain. Okay, let's see. Keep moving, says Min. Oh, no, hang on. Coralism, bite their fingers. I did it the other day. So bite was number 1. Well done, Coralism. I'm going to put you on the list there. So well done. You and Nessa got the number 1 answer. So moving, says Min. Keeping moving a lot. Is moving a lot there? Yes, it is. Well done, guys. Guys, you've passed the halfway mark. You've identified correctly 4 of these. Moving a lot. It's the 2nd most popular answer, with 15 of 100 humans saying moving. All right, let's continue. Bad breath, says Nessa. Oh God, that would be the worst, Natch? You got your fingers in someone's mouth and it just smells. Bad breath. Bad breath. Is it there, though? No, it's not. Sorry. I think kind of bad breath would come under not brushing, right? If you got bad breath, you're doing something wrong. So bad breath is not there. Sorry, guys. Sorry. To burp while the dentist is working. That's from Maria. Burping. Is it there, though? No, it's not, Maria. Yeah, I might have said that wrong. It was Denim. My bad. Min just points out every single mistake, man. He doesn't care. Let's see. I've bitten my dentist once or twice, says Nessa. She also says talking. Something that would make a dentist complain. Something a patient would do that would make a dentist complain. Talking. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. It is there. Talking. It's actually the 5th most popular answer, with 11 of 100 humans saying talking would make a dentist complain. You guys only have 2 answers to go. If you choose any celebrity to see get tickled, who would it be? Who would I like to see get tickled? I don't know. Someone who's miserable. Liam Neeson. Was I not answered that question? I asked that question before in another program. You hype up every single Spanish word you say with an evil laugher. I'll criticize your English. Fair play. I say Justin Bieber. He's quite arrogant and he'd hate it. Probably Emma. Probably. Okay. Let's see. You're missing 2 answers, guys. 2 answers. One of them makes no sense to me. And I'll give you a clue for that one. It's the 6th most popular answer. And it's something dentists will tell you to do. You'll have your mouth full of water and they'll ask you to evict that water. We do have a way of saying that. It's so hard to give a clue for this without being dirty. What could it? Do you think you know what it is, Natch? I see you puzzling away there.
Spit?
It is spit. Well done. I don't know why, but that would annoy a dentist. They're always saying spit. Let's see who else got spit. Nessa got spit. Min got spit. The bridge got spit. Well done, guys. Oh my God. Okay, final one. Something that I have been known to do in a dentist's office when something hurts a lot, or I'm just kind of anticipating the pain. Something that people do often in horror movies, Natch. Something that people often do in horror movies. In fact, there is a horror movie franchise by this name, Natch. Ooh, okay, we've got some correct answers, Natch. What do you think it is?
Scream.
Scream, well done. Okay, Nessa Vanessa correctly identified scream. Okay, let's go through the list. In position number 7, we had to close your mouth. Something a dentist would complain about a patient. Keeps on closing his mouth, man. In position number 6, we had spit, escupir, I think you say in Spanish. God, you can tell I slept well last night, right? Escupir, spit. In position number 5, we had talking. Stop talking, man. I'm trying to extract your molars. Talking. In position number 4, we had not brushing. Well done, Natch. In position number 3, we had screaming. Well done. Well done. Who was it? It was Natch and Nessa Vanessa. Well done. In position number 2, we had moving around a lot. Stop moving. That was Min. And finally, in position number 1, congratulations to Nessa Vanessa and Coralism. It was biting. Don't bite the dentist. All right, that was fun. Okay, let's go to today's Complete the News.
Complete the news.
Okay, my friends, this is Complete the News. I will give you a news headline, un titular, but I'm going to leave out some important information. If you are one of the many people watching the stream right now, but you're too nervous to contribute your opinion, this is your moment, because all you have to write is A, B, or C. In fact, try not to write anything else, because we don't want any spoilers in case you know the answer to this. Okay, first one. Young Americans are using blank to fight anxiety. So young Americans, young jóvenes, los americanos jóvenes, young Americans are using blank to fight anxiety. But what are they using? Is it A, sock puppets? Do you know what a sock puppet is, Natch? Es una marioneta que haces con un calcetín. Right. So sock puppets. Yeah. Do you have a word for a sock puppet in Spanish?
No.
Okay, a sock puppet. So un marioneta de calcetín. I don't know. Have I murdered that? Should be calcetines. Is it always plural? Socks?
No, hay calcetín.
Okay. I was confused, Natch. You know why? No.
Vaya nivelazo.
Yeah, okay, I won't ask for any more. It's getting sad now. So is it A, sock puppets? Young Americans are using blank to fight anxiety. Here we go. Thank you, Cesar. Muñeco guiñol. Muñeco guiñol, no?
Guiñol.
Guiñol, my God. Okay, guiñol. All right, there you go. Thank you, Cesar. First time in the chat. Thank you. So, young Americans are using blank to fight anxiety. Is it A, sock puppets? B, fake British accents? Acentos británicos falsos? Or C, heroin? Heroina, I think you say in Spanish. Young Americans are using blank to fight anxiety. Is it A, sock puppets? B, fake British accents? Or C, heroin? Okay, chat. I need to see those A's, B's, or C's. You know this is a tough one, Natch, because everyone's waiting for one person to give an answer. What do you think it is?
A, sock puppets.
You think sock puppets. They're using sock puppets to fight anxiety. We have an A, we have a B. Cesar says, it's my first time here. Hi from Mexico. Hi. How are you doing, Cesar? Hi from Madrid, Spain. Okay, well, I think A is in the lead. Sock puppets. Let's get a little drum roll. Young Americans are using fake British accents. Acentos británicos falsos. Right? I don't know. I'm sorry, every day I come here and murder your language, Natch. So Noor's Nessa, guys, congratulations if you're in the chat and you said A. A growing trend among young Americans. This is from the Messenger, by the way. I think it's themessenger.com, if I'm not mistaken. A growing trend among young Americans, particularly those in Generation Z, My favourites. Involving using faux British accents. Faux as in false. False British accents in their daily conversations to help manage anxiety and social conflicts. For example, they mention a 26-year-old here called Kyra Green, who told The Guardian that adopting a British accent helped her stay calm when she lost her boarding pass before a flight. There you go, Natch. Feeling anxious? Talk like a British person. Hello? Sorry. I was awfully angry before, but now I find myself so well. Thank you. So calm. Well, that's weird. Yeah, it is weird, but there you go. Guys, you will find all these links, by the way, on my Patreon. Okay, we have time for one more, but we have to be quick. Here we go. A survey, un'enquesta in the UK, find that people are too blank to lead healthier lifestyles. La gente están demasiado algo to live healthier lifestyles. Vivir vidas más saludables. I don't know if I murdered that. Oh! Celebration. Oh my God. So, people are too blank to lead healthier lifestyles. Is it A, tired, B, lazy, or C, poor? This is by the way, this piece of news coming from The Guardian. UK survey finds that people are too blank to lead healthier lifestyles. Is it A, tired, cansado, B, lazy, vago, or C, poor, pobres? We're killing it today, Natch. What do you think?
Poor.
You think poor? Everyone who's answered in the chat actually agrees with you. It's unanimous. Let's get a little drum roll. UK survey finds people are too tired. A. Too tired to lead healthier lifestyles. This piece of news coming from The Guardian. A YouGov survey for World Cancer Research found that 35% of UK adults say they don't live healthier lifestyles, citing tiredness as the main reason. Oh my God, guys, that was a lot of fun today. And guess what? I'll be back tomorrow with more ProBoh Show and this afternoon with more Lunchtime Show, guys. So many things you could have been doing today. And instead of doing those things, you decided to take the time to spend some time with me, and it means the absolute world. See you tomorrow, guys.